Welcome to today's English session. I am D.S. Chakravarti, Assistant Professor of English, Government Degree College for Women, Karimnagar. In the last classes, we have already acquainted with the topic idioms and phrases in English language, and we have seen two videos regarding this topic. In this video, we are going to look into some more examples for idioms and how important they are. The idioms and expressions below that are mentioned in this video are some of the most common in English. The example sentences show how idioms are used in context. So without wasting our time, let's get into the topic idioms part 3. As easy as pie, that indicates the meaning very easy, so simple task. It is same as a piece of cake. You might have heard about the idiom piece of cake. Piece of cake is a very simple task which can be done without any difficulty. To understand this, let's see one example. He said it is a difficult problem, but I don't agree. It seems as easy as pie to me. So he says it's a difficult problem, but I don't believe him. I don't agree with him. It's a very simple task. It can be done very easily. It is as easy as pie. That means it is very easy. The next one, be sick and tired of, is an idiom, and the meaning is I hate. We can also call it I can't stand. We can't stand. So whatever you don't tolerate, whatever you don't like, that can be expressed through this idiom, be sick and tired of. If you dislike something or if you hate something very much, then we can use these kind of idioms in that context. Let's see one example. I am sick and tired of doing nothing but work. Let's go out tonight and have fun. So here the person who is delivering this dialogue is doing a task for a long time, and because of the repetitive task he might have got tired very much, so he wants to go out and to have fun. So this is the idiom be sick and tired of. Now let's move on to the next one. Bend over backwards, and the meaning is try very hard, or we can also assume maybe too much, trying too much. Let's see one example to understand the idiom very well. He bent over backwards to please his new wife, but she never seemed satisfied. Here we can see the verb please. Please, usually whenever we hear the word please, a layman feels that the word please is used to indicate request, but here please is a verb which is derived from the noun pleasure. Pleasure means happiness. Please means to make someone feel happy, to satisfy someone. So what happened here in this example? He bent over backwards, he tried very much, he tried very hard, maybe too much, to please his new wife, but she never seemed satisfied. All his efforts were in vain, and there was no impact on her. So this is the idiom bend over backwards. The next one, bite off more than one can chew. The meaning of the idiom, take responsibility for more than one can manage. Take the burden, that is taking more burden than you can manage. Let's see one example. John is so far behind in his studies. Besides classes, he plays sports and works at a part-time job. It seems he has bitten off more than he can chew. What happened in this example? John is so far behind in his studies. John is already behind in his studies. Not only classes, he plays sports, he is interested in sports, and he allocates some time for sports and works at a part-time job. So his schedule is so busy. Naturally, he is unable to focus on his studies. So that's why he is trying to bite more than he can chew, beyond his capability, beyond his capacity. Now the next one, broke, and the meaning is to have no money. If you lose all your property, all your money, all your earnings, then we can call it broke. Let's see one example. I have to borrow some money from my dad. Right now I am broke. Broke means I am bankrupt. I have no money. I have zero money. So this is the meaning behind the idiom broke. And the next one, change one's mind. And what is the meaning of this idiom, change one's mind? Decide to do something different from what had been decided earlier. So you have decided something earlier, you have scheduled a program, and due to some reasons you have decided to do something different from what had been already decided. Let's see one example. I was planning to work late tonight, but I changed my mind. I'll do extra work on the weekend instead. I have been planning to work late tonight, so I am planning to work late today, but I changed my mind. So something came up, and because of that work, I'll do extra work on the weekend. I have postponed the thing to weekend, and I will work hard in the weekend, and I will complete the task. This is the idiom change one's mind. Now the next one, cut it out. What's the meaning? Stop doing something bad. Let's see the example. That noise is really annoying. Cut it out. So we can understand the meaning. Cut it means to stop. That noise is really annoying. Stop it. Here we can imagine there is a loud voice which is so irritating for everyone. So you are ordering him to stop it. Cut it out. Stop doing something bad. Bad means here irritating, something not good, not pleasant. We can say not pleasant. Now let's move on to the next one. Drop someone a line. The meaning is send a letter or email to someone. Example, it was good to meet you and I hope we can see each other again. Drop me a line when you have time. It's a very simple idiom. We can understand it very easily. It was good to meet you and I hope we can see each other again. So let's take an example. Two friends met after a long time, or two strangers met in a party or in some occasion, and they, after some casual conversation, they exchanged their email IDs or addresses. And before leaving, before taking a leave, definitely they are going to say each other that send a letter or email to someone. That means send me a letter, drop me an email, just message me, so that whenever we have time we can meet some other time. So this is the idiom, drop someone a line. Let's move on to the next one. The next idiom is figure something out. That means come to understand a problem. Let's see one example. I don't understand how to do this problem. Take a look at it. Maybe you can figure it out. Here we can see two friends are discussing with each other. One fellow is speaking to the other fellow, asking him about, I don't understand how to do this problem. He is unable to understand a problem. Take a look at it. Please look into this. Maybe you can figure it out. That means you may be able to understand the problem and you may be able to solve the problem also. So this is the story behind the idiom figure something out. Now let's move on to the next one, that is fill in for someone. That means do their works while they are away. Let's see an example to understand the idiom. While I was away from the store, my brother filled in for me. Simply we can say a substitute or an alternative. So what happened here? While I was away from the store, maybe a departmental store or a supermarket, when the person left the store, he arranged a substitute, that is his brother. So here we can understand that his brother was was replaced him. My brother filled in for me. That means instead of me, my brother worked there for some time. So this is the idiom fill in for someone. The next one, in ages, and the meaning is for a very long time. Example, have you seen Joe recently? I haven't seen him in ages. So here is a simple conversation. A question, have you seen Joe recently? Have you seen him? And the answer is, I haven't seen him in ages. That is, I haven't seen him for a long time. I haven't seen him. I didn't see him. I haven't met him for a long time. There is also an informal phrase in English language, long time no see. It appears there is no grammar in the sentence, but it is a typical usage which became very popular. In movies also we can find this phrase, long time no see. That means after a long time we have met. We haven't met since a long time. This is the meaning that it indicates. Now let's move on to the next one. Give someone a hand. That is helps, to help someone. Example, I want to move this desk to the next room. Can you give me a hand? Yeah, it's a very simple one. You can also ask in this manner, can you help me? Instead of the phrase, can you help me? You can also use this idiom, give someone a hand. That means help someone. I want to move this desk to the next room. So here you are shifting a desk to the next room. Can you give me a hand? Seems the desk is very heavy. That's why he is asking for the help of another person. Can you give me a hand? Now the next one, hit the hay. The meaning is go to bed. Let's see an example. It's after 12 o'clock. I think it's time to hit the hay. It's a very simple thing to understand. Hit the hay means to go to bed. It's after 12 o'clock. The time is already reached 12. So it's 12 in the midnight. I think it's time to hit the hay. That this is the right time to go to bed. It's already delayed. It's already late. So it is better to go to bed now. So this is the idiom hit the hay. Next one, in the black. The meaning is the business is making money, it is profitable. So any business, if it is making money and if it is getting you money, then we can use the idiom in the black. Let's see one example. Our business is really improving. We have been in the black all the year. Our business is really improving. So whatever the business we are running is quite good. It is showing wonderful results. We have been in the black all year. So we are profitable. We are making profits all the year. This is called the idiom in the black. Now the next one, in the red. The business is losing money. It is unprofitable. Seems this idiom is the antonym of the previous idiom that we learned just now. That is in the black. In the black is the antonym of in the red. In the black is making profits. In the red is losing money, making losses. Let's see one example. Business is really going poorly these days. We have been in the red for the past 3 months. We can apply this wonderful example to today's time, that is the COVID-19 situation. Almost all the businesses were hit by this COVID-19. Social interactions have been cancelled. There is no shopping frenzy. People stopped buying anything because of the recession time. Business is losing money. It is unprofitable. Either we have to quit the business or we have to take necessary measures to bring it onto the track again. The next one, in the nick of time. The meaning is not too late but very close. That was very close. Let's see an example to understand this idiom. I got to the drugstore just in the nick of time. It is a good thing because I really need this medicine. So the person reached the medical store just before the closure time, in the nick of time. So if he had come late, he would have missed the medicine. He couldn't have got the medicine. So this is the idiom in the nick of time. Next one, keep one's chin up. The meaning is remain brave and keep on trying. Usually we find all sorts of troubles, obstacles, problems in our life, whether it can be physical or professional or regarding health or emotional. These kind of issues we find all the time in our life. So in all those circumstances we need to keep our chin up. That means we have to remain brave and keep on trying till we get the results that we are trying after. Let's see one example. I know things have been difficult for you recently, but keep your chin up. It will get better soon. It's a wonderful motivational sentence. I know things have been difficult for you recently. Recently, you have been facing so many problems, so many difficulties that I know, but you shouldn't lose your hope. You shouldn't lose your faith. You have to stand and you have to keep your chin up. It will get better soon. Good days will come. So, this is the idiom keep one's chin up. Next one, know something like the back of your hand. The meaning is know something very, very, very well. If you know something very well, you have wonderful proficiency in that. They can then, in that situation, you can use these kind of idioms. Know something like the back of your hand. Let's see the example. If you get lost, just ask me for directions. I know this part of town like the back of my hand. If you are lost in this particular city because you are new to this city, just you can call me, you can ask me for directions because I am native to this city and I know each and every lane, each and every street of this town like the back of my hand. I grew up here, that's why I know each and every lane. That is the idiom know something like the back of your hand. Let's move on to the next one. Once in a while. The meaning is sometimes, not very often. Example, have you been to the new movie theater? No, only see movies once in a while. No, I see movies once in a while. I usually stay home and watch TV. So this is a conversation. A person is asking the other, have you been to the new movie theater? To that new movie theater? No, I only see movies once in a while. That is, I don't go to theaters frequently, not very often. I sometimes go to the movies. That is once in a while, very rarely I go to movies. Usually I stay home and watch TV. Usually what I do, I stay at home and watch TV. So this is the idiom, once in a while. Next one, 20, sharp, exactly at the time. Example, I'll meet you at 9 o'clock sharp. If you are late, we will be in trouble. Sharp means here not we are discussing about the physical sharpness of a knife or sword or a blade. Here sharp means exactly. So the example indicates I'll meet you at 9 o'clock sharp. So exactly at 9 o'clock. So be on time. If you are late, we will be in trouble. If you are late, we won't be able to do the task that we have already decided. The next one, sleep on it, means think about something before making a decision. Before making a decision, we have to think carefully. We have to take the things, we have to consider the things properly. We have to count on the positive things and the negative things, the advantages and the disadvantages, and based on the whole concept, we need to take a decision. So this is the concept behind the idiom sleep on it. And let's use it in an example. That sounds like a good deal, but I would like to sleep on it before I give you my final decision. So a person just now heard about a good deal, but he hasn't taken decision. That's why he says, I would like to sleep on it. That means I need to think about it carefully before I give you my final decision. Then only I can give you my final word, that is my final decision. So this is the idiom sleep on it. The next one, take it easy. It's a very popular idiom. Everyone knows about it probably. And the meaning is relax. Example, I don't have any special plans for the summer. I think I'll just take it easy. So someone asked him, what are your plans for the summer? Then the reply is, I don't have any special plans for the summer. I think I'll just relax. That means I have worked hard during the around the year, so I'll take the time and I'll take rest. I'll relax. Now let's move on to the next one. To get the ball rolling. The meaning is start something, especially something big. So in so many seminars, in so many workshops, we find these kind of idioms. They start to get the ball rolling. To understand it better, we need to go through the example. That is, we need to get this project started as soon as possible. I am hoping you will help me get the ball rolling. Those people have decided to start this project as early as possible, and this person is hoping the other one to help him to get the ball rolling. That means to start something, to start a big project, and he needs his assistance. So that is conveyed through the idiom to get the ball rolling. The next idiom is up to the minute. The meaning is the most recent information, that is updated information, latest information. Let's see an example. I wish I knew more about what is happening in the capital city. We need more up to the minute news. So it is better for me to know what is happening in the capital city now. I need up to the minute news. So that is the story behind the idiom. Next one, 24 by 7. It's a very popular one. 24 by 7 is often indicated through numbers also. The meaning is every minute of every day, all the time. And the example, you can access our website 24 by 7. It is very convenient. Our website works all the time. Our service is available all the time. So you can access our website 24 by 7. That means all the time, every day. It is very convenient. If some services are available each and every minute, that is around the clock, entire week, then we can use these kind of idioms 24 by 7. Now the next one, all of a sudden means unexpectedly. It is used to describe something that happens very quickly, all of a sudden. Example, he had just gone to bed when all of a sudden the phone rang. Just he went to bed and he slept for a while, then all of a sudden the phone rang and he woke up. It was a disturbance to him and he woke up. So this is all of a sudden. The next one, be all ears. That means eager and ready to listen. Example, go ahead and speak. I am all ears. It's a wonderful idiom. We can use this in good situations, necessary situations. So what is this? Go ahead and speak. I am all ears. That means I am listening to your words. Keep on going. Eager and ready to listen. Be all ears. I am ready. I am interested in your words. Please tell me what happened. So this is be all ears. And next one, be fed up with. That means to hate something now, even though I may have liked it before. That is vexed with. Example, I am fed up with my job. I am irritated with my job. I am vexed with my job. Now I am not interested in this job absolutely. I think I should start looking for a new one. I am fed up with this one. That's why I want to change my job. I think I should start looking for a new one. So this is be fed up with. Next one, to bug. That means to bother someone, to trouble someone is to bug. Example, hey, stop tapping your fingers. It's really bugging me. A person heard a noisy sound from the fellow and he asked him, hey, stop tapping your fingers. It is really bugging me. It is bothering me. Please stop it. It is irritating me. And the next one, a cinch. Something that is very easy to do. Example, I didn't think I could run 5 kilometers, but with the right preparation, it was a cinch. That is a piece of cake that we discussed just now. It's like a piece of cake. It's a very easy task. It's a simple one. Anyone can do that. So what happened here? I didn't think I could run 5 kilometers. I never thought I could run 5 kilometers. I thought it's a huge one, huge task, but with the right preparation, so I have been practicing for several days, and because of the practice it was a cinch. That is, it was a piece of cake. It was something that is very easy to do. The next one, cost an arm and a leg. That means very expensive, too costly. The example is, I would really like a new car, but they all cost an arm and a leg. So my financial position is not that good. So if I want to buy a new car, it will cost me an arm and a leg. That means it is very expensive. And at this moment, I am not able to afford that. I can't afford that. The next one, to cram, means to study hard a few days before a test. Example, if you had studied hard for the past 4 months, you wouldn't have to cram so much this weekend. Usually, it happens with all the students all the time. Students do not take necessary precautions and necessary initiation and start studying from the initial days, from the beginning days. What they do when the exams approach, then they get worried and start their preparation, and they may not be able to do justice to their studies because the time is very less and they have to complete more syllabus, and they feel anxious at that time. So here the idiom cram indicates to study hard a few days before a test. When the exams are approached, then you start studying, then it is called to cram. The next one, fresh out of something, to have no more of something. Example, I have to go buy some more milk. It seems we are fresh out now. We can remember another idiom also, that is run out of gas, run out of vegetables. This is another similar idiom. So here fresh out of something means run out of something. That means there is no stock. In this example, I have to go buy some more milk. That means there is no milk in the home. I don't have milk in the home. So I have to go out to the departmental stores to buy some milk. Now the next one, to get it, to understand. Example, what did the teacher say? I didn't get you. Did you? Two students are discussing with each other. What did the teacher say? I didn't get it. Did you? I didn't understand what the teacher said. Did you understand?